Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lukenessmonster. Today, Hasbro held their Fan First Wednesday stream, and there was a ton of BlackSeries reveals to talk about. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into all of the BlackSeries reveals. And I gotta say, this was a great stream because there was actually 7 BlackSeries reveals, 8 if you count the roleplay item, which we'll also talk about. First up, we have 2 figures from the Mandalorian. First up, we do have Moff Gideon in the Dark Trooper armor, and I gotta say, I think this figure turned out really well. Does look to be a completely brand new sculpt head to toe. And it also has a soft goods cape. I think the soft goods cape looks a little wonky on it, I will say. I do think it is a big improvement from the really big, bulky, hard plastic cape that the first Moff Gideon came with. But I do think this soft goods cape sits a little weird on the figure. But the actual sculpt of the figure here looks just absolutely amazing. I think that the glossy black effect on the armor is great. I love when they add this shiny glossy effect, especially to stormtroopers. I think the weapons look great. He does come with a few different ones, but especially that Beskar, Magna Guard, electric staff looks super cool. He also does, of course, have that removable helmet, and with a brand new Moff Gideon likeness underneath, which I think looks amazing. I was really concerned with the helmet on this, that his chin would be peeking out of the bottom of the helmet, but it seems that they fix that problem. There is some photos of him in hand here, and it doesn't really seem like the chin is showing, which I think is great, and it's something I was worried about, but it seems like that's not going to be a problem, so pretty excited about that. Next up is actually the Imperial Praetorian Guard, and this is one that I think looks amazing at first glance, but there are going to be some downsides. For starters, I think that, again, that glossy effect they were able to pull off in this figure looks amazing. You know how I am with glossy effects in Stormtroopers. They're these clean, pristine armor, and they're supposed to have this gloss effect, and they knocked it out of the park with this one. I think that this design with the new shoulder pads and the helmet, it just looks so cool. They also did give him 2 different weapons, so if you want an army build, you can buy 2 of them, and they would have different weapons. I think that's great. I was worried they were only going to do 1 weapon, but I do believe there was 3 weapons total because there was 3 Praetorian Guards, so I think 3 weapons would have been the ideal thing, so you could just buy 3 and have all of them have different weapons, but that is what it is. But the biggest problem with this is they showed the in-hand photos here, and it looks like it reuses the First Order legs, which means he has pinned legs, which is not good at all, and it's just really bad. Now, I will say the pinned legs of the First Order Stormtrooper aren't the end of the world. It's much better than pinned arms, but it's definitely not the best articulation, and we could have gotten better if they made new legs. But I will say they did Photoshop out the pins on the glam shots again, which I am not a fan of. Hasbro, you got to stop Photoshopping out the pins. It is false advertising, and it gives everybody watching the impression that you put in the money to make a new mold for this figure, and they'll go out and they'll buy it, and they'll see that it doesn't actually have a new mold or new pins, and it just sucks. Stop Photoshopping out the pins. This is one that I'm a little disappointed in because of those pinned legs, but I'm still pretty excited about, and I still think the design looks good, so it's one that I'll have to judge in person, really to see if the legs are a deal breaker or not. Both of these figures will go up for Both of these figures will be available in summer of 2025 and go up for pre-order Wednesday, March 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Next up, we got some Andor reveals. 2 figures from Andor. First up is that elusive TIE fighter pilot Andor that we've been seeing different factory leaks of. And I gotta say, this guy looks great. I'm not sure exactly what I was expecting for the armor to look like and the actual outfit to look like, but he turned out amazing. I absolutely love the red accents, especially the little red Imperial insignias on the helmet to go with the red shoulders. I think that it just looks so clean and so good. I also think the Andor head sculpt looks amazing. Likeness is really good. And it's hard to see from the glam shots, but from the in-person photos here, you can definitely see that there is that glossy effect on the helmet and the armor that I was talking about, and it's nice to see that actually on this figure, where you can't really see it in the glam shots, but you can definitely see it on the figure here. And honestly, I just think my favorite part about this is that if you throw the helmet on, he is just like a TIE fighter pilot. Actually, I believe the official name is Cassian Andor Sentinel Test Pilot, which is pretty cool. But essentially, if you don't like Cassian, you have a test pilot that you can army build, and I think that's great, and it's going to go great on the Imperial shelf or the Andor shelf, whatever you want to put him on. He's going to look great with the helmet on or off, and that's what I really like about this figure. And of course, here's what he looks like in the box, looking great. He is number 15 in the Andor line. Next up, we finally got some photos of that Director Krennic we had seen leaks of, and I gotta say, this one is a little disappointing. We were kind of expecting a new mold for this guy, and they did give us a brand new head sculpt, I believe, but the body itself and the cape and the blasters, everything are just straight reuse from the original Director Krennic, which is on that old Imperial body. So it's not a great figure by any means. It could have definitely been better, and it's just a shame that they didn't reuse that Thrawn Imperial body. They put a lot of money and effort into making a new Thrawn Imperial body, and they don't ever go and reuse it now. I do understand that it is probably much easier just to re-release the figure that you already have with an updated portrait, but it also would have been nice to see that Thrawn mold go to use and actually get some more reuse out of it, especially because the articulation is just leaps and bounds better. Overall though, Krennic does look good, and I don't own a Krennic, and so even the ones that are out there don't have like the photoreal, so I think this one is going to be a great upgrade for anybody who needs a Krennic or has the old one. It's still going to be a great upgrade, just not as good as we originally thought. These two are also going to be available in summer of 2025, with the pre-order going up on Wednesday, March 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Next up, we did get our 3 Revenge of the Sith reveals, which is super exciting. No Anakin and Obi-Wan just yet, which is a little disappointing. But first up, we did get Count Dooku. Now, I will say all 3 of these are exclusive to Walmart. But first up, we do have Count Dooku, and I think this Revenge of the Sith packaging looks amazing. As far as the figure goes, it's the exact same figure we've already gotten in the line before, so nothing super special. It's an amazing figure with amazing articulation, great accessories, amazing likeness. It's a really, really dang good figure, and it's good that they're getting this one back out in the line, especially in that Revenge of the Sith packaging. But other than the packaging, there's really nothing new with this guy. So as far as this goes, this one might be a pass for me. Other than the fact is I might keep it like in the package and display that way, but I already own the Count Dooku figure, so I don't really need a second one. And that's the exact same thing that goes for the second one here, and that is Kit Fisto. Again, an exact re-release of the previous Kit Fisto we already have in the line. But Kit Fisto is a great character with a great figure, and it's good that they're getting this one back out in the line for collectors to get that don't have the original one. Again, the packaging looks amazing. It's super reminiscent of the original Revenge of the Sith packaging. It just looks really clean. Like I said, I absolutely love that like Revenge of the Sith blister card back, and I'm just so happy they're finally doing a re-release of this for the 20th anniversary. But again, I might only pick this one up to leave in box because I own a Kit Fisto and I don't really need a second one on display. Third is R2-D2, and this one is slightly different, so I'm pretty excited about that. Again, packaging looks incredible. And specifically what they did with this one is they gave him the R5 rocket booster. So they didn't glue on like the little arm panels. They gave him the rocket booster so he can fly around, which is super cool. We do see him do that in Revenge of the Sith. So that is a nice addition, and it's going to be great to get our like rocket booster R2-D2 in the line. And so I'll probably pick this one up just for the rocket boosters. But I gotta say, I only have one of the new R2-D2 mold, and you can never have too many R2-D2s because he's literally in every movie, so he'll go on every single shelf. So I'll probably pick this one up regardless, just because I need more R2-D2s on the shelf. These ones are exclusive to Walmart in the US and to Canada, and they'll be available fan channel for the rest of the world. This is for Walmart's March CollectorCon event. Brandon on the live stream was a little unclear on one thing because he counted 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and he said that there will be more reveals at March CollectorCon, which is actually taking place on the 13th of March. And so it's a little unclear whether there is going to be 4 more reveals or if there's just going to be 1 more. I'm kind of going back and forth, but according to the Yakface, there is only 1 more, being the 501st Trooper. So I'm kind of inclined to believe that there's only going to be 1 more on this Revenge of the Sith card back. But it did kind of sound like he said there were going to be 4 more. So, I'm cautiously optimistic, but I think we should kind of set our expectations for only 1. They also did reveal on the stream that the Moff Gideon, Praetorian Guard, Andor, as well as Director Krennic will all be a part of the same wave as the Anakin Skywalker and the Captain Rex from earlier this year. So that one is a pretty solid wave, and this might be one of the first waves in a long time that I pick up every single figure. Moving on, we do have the premium roleplay item, which is a 501st helmet. This one is actually based off of Ahsoka, but I still think it looks amazing. I'm surprised it's not based off Revenge of the Sith. I think the helmet looks amazing, though. It is a typical Clone Trooper helmet we've seen a few different times in the line before, so we know what it's like. It's just a new paint job on it, and it's about time they've done a 501st. I'm surprised they hadn't done one sooner. And like I said, it's what you would expect from a Hasbro helmet, so looking really good. Overall, I'm really happy with all these reveals. I'm really excited to get some of these in hand, and definitely excited to see what those mystery March CollectorCon reveals are going to be. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you go down, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.